Yo, YouTube! What's crackin' like a jack and smacking? It's Waffle Man for video, and welcome to another episode of Games You Should Play for the Summer. My second episode. This series is about telling you all the games that I've played and enjoyed, and games that I think you should play as well, because some of these games I've played in the summer, or the winter, or any season of the year. But, you know, summer is a real time to really sit back and relax and enjoy some great games that you might have never played, because you actually have the time to enjoy these games now. So with this episode, I'm going to be talking about not really a game or games, but I'm going to be talking about a series or a couple of games you should check out from this certain developer, Telltale Games. Now, this developer has made The Walking Dead seasons 1, 2, and 400 Days Walking Dead. This developer has also made Wolf Among Us, or The Wolf Among Us, I think that's what that game is called. And this game has also made Game of Thrones on the PS4, or not the PS4, but PS3, 360, PC. And I believe some of these games are coming to the PS4, or at least the PS4 somewhere. Actually, Game of Thrones for the PS4 is already there. But for the other games like Walking Dead, you could get The Walking Dead from PS Now. Or if you still have your last gen console and PC, it's pretty easy to run on the PC, so don't worry about that. But why are these games so good? You know, maybe you've seen these games at E3 or in a gameplay or in a walkthrough video, and you're like, man, this is a different type of game. But these games are actually so underrated. I mean, at first I was like, The Walking Dead, there's no way, there's no possibility a developer can make a Walking Dead game good. But then this game got an award at, you know, the Spike Game Awards last year or 2 years ago, and I was like, what the hell? They did not just give this game an award. So I was like, let me check this game out. And, you know, as a Walking Dead fan, I watch The Walking Dead when it comes on every Sunday when there's a new season. Excuse me right there. But I tried it out, and it turns out that the game is phenomenal. I mean, it's not a game like God of War or Metal Gear Solid. It's not a deep game where you're gonna get, you know, lost into like those games, or a game like Fallout, or, you know, games like Far Cry. It's not a game like that. It's just an easy to relax play game with simple button commands, and as you move into the story, your decisions have an impact. So the decisions you make are affected by the next gameplay and what comes next in the next cutscenes and what happens to each and every single character in the game, which makes for a really interesting game, because you're not really, you know, you're not playing seriously, but you're playing and watching and experiencing an experience based on the decisions you make, and you're seeing the outcomes take place as you play. So anything you do affects everything that happens later in the game. So if you tell a character, if you lie to one character, if you lie to one character, that character might remember that you lied to them. And lying to one character may be good or bad depending on their attitudes, their behaviors, and the situation that's taking place. So that's what The Walking Dead is mainly about: surviving and facing different outcomes of treachery and, you know, other people that you have to help to survive with. And it's just crazy, man. I mean, this game is really, The Walking Dead seasons 1 and 2 are two games you should check out, because first of all, season 2 is a continuation of season 1. And both of them have, you know, season 2 has returning characters from season 1. And guess what? The best thing about that is you don't have to watch The Walking Dead to understand what's going on. Now, of course, if you watch The Walking Dead, you'll be like, okay, I know that there's zombies in here and there and all that stuff. You kind of get a better grasp of it. But you don't have to watch The Walking Dead to play this game. And The Wolf Among Us is another game by Telltale Games, which is the same style as The Walking Dead. So you don't have to know anything about the comics from The Wolf Among Us to play The Wolf Among Us. I mean, in that game was as interesting as The Walking Dead, and I enjoyed that game a lot. That game was fun to play, you know. And the good thing about all these games is that they're short. You know, they're not longer than 7 hours. They're not more than 7 hours, and each season has like 5 episodes. So if you want to play one episode one day, it takes like 2 hours for one episode, or 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's really, really short, man. It's short, it's to the point. It'll keep you interested for the whole time. And yeah, these games are cheap. They're probably like, what, The Walking Dead goes for like, what, $20 now? The Wolf Among Us is like $20. The full season of Game of Thrones right now, I think, is what, $20 to $30. I mean, these games are not $60. They're not, you know, expensive. You could get some of them on Steam for pretty cheap too. And especially when the Steam sale comes, they're going to be really cheap, some of these games. That's when I got The Wolf Among Us. So yeah, games like that, and especially Game of Thrones, which I started watching. And Game of Thrones, by the way, is a great show you should check out. I mean, it comes on HBO. Even if you don't have HBO, there's plenty of streams online and links online where you can watch Game of Thrones for free. But even the Game of Thrones game, I have a friend that's playing it, and that game, he told me that game is amazing too. That game is excellent, man. I mean, the choices and the decisions you make, you know, for them having such an impact, it really makes the game more fun, because your decisions actually matter. It's not just, oh, my decision. It's not like the game is scripted or anything. Yeah, the game is scripted, but it's scripted based on what you do. So yeah, those are 3 games you should check out: The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, and Game of Thrones by Telltale Games. If you haven't played these games or are on the fence about getting these games for the summer, just check them out, man. Check them out on YouTube. There's plenty of walkthroughs and gameplays. Plenty of people watch it. Hell, you don't even have to freaking play the game. You can watch the game as well if you want to, but honestly, playing it is much more fun. And these games are inexpensive, man. These games are really cheap. So these games are just a good experience for a cheap cost and a cheap value. But anyways, YouTube, I'm out. Hope you take my advice and enjoy these games, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.